A bucket? What do you need a bucket for?
Yeah, because well, if you get a bucket, if you find a bucket and you put a fish in it,
Fish in a
then
bucket?
you can teach a man to if you take a fish and if you make a man take a fish, if you put a bucket in if you put a fish in a bucket, you'll have a man with your food.
So if you give a fish a bucket, then the man will eat the bucket?
No, the fish in the bucket. So you take it, you set it next to you, and you put a fish in it.
But what if like a bear gets your bucket?
Well, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I mean, yeah, I don't like bears. They're pretty mean.
Yeah, because then you won't have the fish. You won't have. Well, if you get another bucket, if you get another bucket, you can put fish in it.
The zombie pit. Cast a command the zombie pit.
On that one, you have fish in that bucket.
But it's like, what if you have that bucket and you have the fish in the bucket, but then like the bear returns the other bucket, then you have two buckets. What do you do with the extra bucket?
I'm pretty sure if a bear returns a bucket to you, something's fucking wrong. Because I've never seen a bear return a bucket to me, at least. Like I haven't been. I mean, I've seen a bear, but it wasn't nice enough to say, "Hey, here's a bucket."
Well, I mean, so you have. I have this problem where I almost punch people, and it happened to this guy I met earlier, and like his animal attacked me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. So sorry. I'm gonna stand a little away. I went to in my head. I went to another place once, and when I came back, I was punching all my friends in the face. Oh, I hate when that happens. Although sometimes my friends, I punch them in the face because they need a punch in the face.
Well, Mom always said, she said, if you get in a man's face, if you come up to him, get him in their face, you're probably gonna smack. You're probably gonna take a good licking.
Well, I mean, just like, doesn't it like depend on the man?
Yeah, or the woman, I guess, too.
Yeah. Or the bear.
Specifically anyone. Well, no, if a bear's in your face, you're probably fucked.
That's Cletus, yes. Hey, Troglodyte. Yeah, well, I mean, what if you gave the bear the fish, but kept the bucket?
What if you gave a bear a fist in the butt?
Okay, if you fist a bear, then there's probably something fucked up.
Yeah, because then he'd probably bite your head off because you put your fist in his butt. I'm assuming.
I'm figuring he would probably do that before you get the fist up his butt. Unless you sneak up to him while he's hibernating. If you get a man to try to get I don't know what I'm trying to say. Well, are we still talking about the buckets?
Yeah, if you get a bucket because you take a man to the fish bucket, you can teach a fish to bucket. If you can teach a fish to bucket itself,
you can teach the man to be a bucket for the fish.
You can teach a fish to bucket itself too.
You can teach the bucket to be a man?
Yeah, yes, if you teach a teach a bucket to be a man.
Teach a bucket to be a man, and then he can have all the fish he wants.
Then because the bucket will go get the fish for you, and then you can sit on your ass and do nothing.
Exactly, and then the bucket brings the fish, and then the fish. Well, does the bucket cook the fish?
The other scary thing about that is how quick it'll be. How long the other thing is how long it'll take to stink up the whole place.
Well, what if the bucket runs away with my wife?
What if your wife is the bucket of fish?
Oh my God. Did you just call my wife a bucket of fish?
Sometimes they are a bucket of fish.
Okay, well, I'll give you that one. Well, I mean, but then
it just depends on the situation. If she got a gnarly smell to her, she might be a little bit of a bucket of fish. But she ain't nothing. Cause mom always said if you find a woman and you treat her good, she won't smell like a bucket of fish. I promise you that.
And then you just have to because you have the woman that doesn't smell like a bucket of fish. So then you need to God, see, there I go again. And then you need to take the man to a woman that smells like a bucket of fish.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know.
You want me to take a woman to a man with?
What? No, listen. I think I'm a little confused about the bucket of fish.
It smells like the man is a bucket of fish, and the woman you're taking it to it.
The man's a bucket of fish, and the woman doesn't smell like a bucket of fish. But wouldn't she smell like a bucket of fish after the man?
Well, his penis would.
Well, then he would be a complete bucket of fish. So if a woman lays with a man.
Let's break this down for a minute. If you give a man a fish, he'll smell like a bucket of fish. If you teach a man to fish, he'll make women smell like fish.
Well, if a man's bucket and a fish's woman meet on a sunny day, then
wait, now the fish has a woman?
If a woman fish and a bucket man meet, then that's how little fishes are made?
Now there's a bucket man?
I think. Yeah.
So you're saying a fish's woman and a bucket man get together and have sex. Now you got a bucket fish man.
Exactly, and then you can teach the bucket to be a man for the rest of his life.
Yeah, if you teach a man to bucket a fish, you'll have the ability to eat like stuff.
And also you have a bucket. But
and a fish.
If you get a bucket with if a bucket and a fish, or if there's a fish in the bucket and you have it, you have to have some spray some spray for bears that repels them.
Well, if you got a bear problem, you probably don't want to have buckets of fish around.
Well, that's true, because
that's probably the best way to handle it.
Because you don't want bears, you don't want to wake up in bed with a fish and a bear.
But if you go back on the situation prior to what we were talking about, you are a bucket of fish, and your woman is a bucket of fish, so you're probably fucked if there's bears around.
Well, wouldn't the bears just come where you're at because you are a bucket of fish?
I don't want a bear to come where I'm at.
No, I don't. I would rather the bear not be anywhere around me. Well, I don't know who would clean that up. I don't think the bear would.
Well, you could put it in the bucket with the fish.
Does that marinate the fish? Hey, Hummer, how you doing?
It gives the fish like a slimy feeling so that it won't be so sticky.
Well, if you teach a teenager to fish, will it fap all day?
What's a teenager?
If a man knows how to fish, then he drinks beer all day. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah. That's the one good thing about my favorite love for fishing is when you sit down. Okay, so when you sit down next to the water in your chair, in your old chair, and get out your pole and get your bait, and you sit there and start throwing it, you can sip on your old brewskis.
But you can't. Well, I mean, if you have the bucket to go get the fish itself, then you can just sit anywhere and drink the beer, right?
Yeah, if you assuming that you have a bucket to fish, assuming you have a bucket that fishes itself, you just drink and chill and don't do nothing.
Well, how do I get a bucket to make chili for me?
You can't do that.
That's not possible?
No, you can't get a bucket to make chili because it's got to start cooking. It's got to learn how to use the crock pot, and then it's got to put in the beef, and it's got to make the flavors and spices, and then it's got to get the beans, and the bucket would just have too much to do.
Well, what if I cooked but the bucket prepared?
You could cook the chili and put it in the bucket.
So the chili, but then the bucket doesn't do anything but sit on its ass and drink beer all day until I'm ready to cook the chili.
Yeah, you kind of the bucket just won.
Yeah, you let the bucket win that point. And you never let the bucket win. I mean, that's not something you want to do.
Well, like if you send the bucket to go get groceries and stuff to get everything prepared for the chili, you could make a bucket list.
Oh my God, you're right. You would make a bucket list. And then the bucket would check off everything on its list when it goes to the store.
And if it doesn't do what you ask it to do when you say, hey, bucket, get to work cooking, you could kick the bucket.
And then you would be kicking the bucket, which would have the bucket list in it, therefore kicking the bucket list.
Yep, because then you'd all be done. You kick the bucket list.
Well, where's the fish in this scenario?
Well, we're not talking about the fish anymore.
Well, I thought there was always a fish regardless. Wouldn't you want a fish there? I mean,
well, that's if you take. Well, there's a fish if you take the bucket and set it next to you by the water. You put the fish in it, then you got a bucket of fish.
Well, do you feed the fish the chili or?
You don't feed fish chili? What kind of damn toation shit is that?
I've never had a fish. I don't know.
You know a fish don't eat chili. Come on now, Mister. You don't feed a fish chili because it'll die. It won't be able to digest the chili.
Well, I mean, but what if you want chili stuffed fish? Wouldn't you feed the fish chili, and then when they die, then you cook them up, and then you have stuffed chili fish?
Ooh, stuffed chili fish. That sounds kind of good. That sounds almost as good as my grits Mama used to make me.
Oh my God! Do you have any grits right now?
No, shit. I haven't had grits since I was at home with Mama. Okay, so before I came up on this shore, old Cletus was sitting on the porch. I'm from 1932 West Beauregard Lane, Southern Alabama. Okay, and
right.
We were sitting on the porch with my dog Cooter. Me and Cooter, we were sitting there, and I was whittling wood. Okay, and I was making me a little. You ever made a whistle out of wood? Made a whistle wood?
No, but that sounds intriguing.
Yeah, I was whittling a whistle
Thank
wood,
you for the follow. I appreciate
and Cooter was sitting there, and I said, Cooter, listen, I love you bunches, and Mama yells out, and she said, Cletus, quit getting so goddamn emotional with your goddamn dog. I said, Mama, what's for dinner? She said,